As quickly as you can, snatch the pebbles from my hand. When you take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
Get it down. Yeah. What's the?
Because like, Muay Thai in Thailand is a way of life.
Wow.
It's not just classes at 7. Be there on time, stretch, get out there and start doing things. No, Muay Thai is life for many of these people. In a lot of cases, these are. And for those that don't know much about Thailand is a third world country. There's successful people. There's some very poor people.
Yeah.
Some of the best fighters, though, are the poorest. They come from rice farms. Matter of fact, the idea of getting out of that way of life, they're given this opportunity, fighting. So when it comes to America, we do football, we got soccer, we got baseball, but for the most part, it's fun stuff. You learn it as a kid. It's all cool, fun. Thailand, when they look at Muay Thai, it's less about that whole idea of just, hey, let's get the kids into something. And
into a sport, right?
Yeah. This is a way of life for them.
Wow.
When a kid says, hey, I want to do Muay Thai, it's a commitment. It's like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Are you really ready for this commitment?
Yeah.
So when you think about the difference between how they view martial arts and their art, Muay Thai versus somebody like kickboxing, American kickboxing, Tommy, we're going to put him in kickboxing, get him a little discipline. Muay Thai, it's like, hey, if you do this.
What's good, Dragons? It's your host, Roy Robb, coming back at you for another great episode on End of the Last Dragon podcast. I have with us Nolan Ferguson, a individual who has been training in the world of kickboxing and Muay Thai for 20 plus years. He gives us a lot of insight of why this sport has become one of the great favorites for training when it comes to mixed martial arts, and why it's one of the sports he loves to death. Sit back, relax, get ready to enjoy another great one. And before we get started, another self-promotion time. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Join the movement. Now, let's get into some martial arts. Welcome back. End of the Last Dragon. Your host, Roy Robb. Your seafood for today has another one about to be electrifying as usual. We are going to focus in straight on freaking kickboxing and Muay Thai. I have someone who's been in the game a long time, a good friend of mine, Mr. Nolan Ferguson. Hey.
What's up, man? Thanks for inviting me.
No doubt, man. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Oh, man, life, look, you already know, life is really different right now, expecting a child, so it's good, man. It couldn't get any better at this point.
Congrats. Congrats on the baby. Congrats, mama. Andrea, congrats, mama. Hey, man. That's such a blessing, man.
Complete new journey.
It's a new journey, right?
Yeah.
So everyone needs to know when I say Enter the Last Dragon has the opportunity to discuss kickboxing and Muay Thai. Let's start by what is kickboxing and Muay Thai. Let's get some basics there. So why is this such a big deal?
Well, for me, just to kind of give you a background of how I got into this, as we were discussing a little earlier, I've always been a big kung fu fan. I've always liked the movies, the kung fu movies from the past, Bruce Lee movies, Enter the Dragon, that kind of stuff. So when as a kid, the most dynamic part of that fighting was the kicking. They were kicking all over again.
Right.
Making the noises and everything. So
right.
As a kid, I just really, I loved it. I wanted to do something like that eventually one day. We all wanted to be kickboxers or kung fu artists at that time. So we would go out in the backyard, play around, and with each other and whatnot. So it started there. But generally, the idea behind, how I got into it and what it's about, ultimately, one day I decided I wanted to learn something. And, when I went to go look out there, kickboxing was it was something that people were still doing. There was karate schools, there were kickboxing schools.
Right.
But more importantly, I wanted to learn. I wanted to know what was the art of fighting that I thought was was going to be great. Now, at that time, I didn't really know a whole lot about jiu-jitsu.
But did you know, that's the thing though, like, so you've been doing, how many years, let me ask you this first. How many years have you been doing kickboxing?
20 years.
So at 20 years ago, did you have any clue of what you were getting into? Because we're to this point now because of mixed martial arts, there's so many levels to it. When I say levels, I mean like, there's not all martial arts are equal. I'll say it like that.
No.
Did you know that you were going to be getting into one of the most dynamic, like it is, if you are a fighter now, you need to know some portion of kickboxing and Muay Thai.
You have to know, yeah.
You have to.
If you plan on being any good at it.
Right. Like that.
I've seen people come with the judo. I've seen some people be successful. But ultimately, everybody, to me, and I'm not trying to judge it in any of the arts, but Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Muay Thai pretty much lead the game when it comes to MMA. They
lead the freaking game. And like, so I had a shout out to one of my friends. Her name is Desiree. What's good? She was on the podcast. She does and trains hard in Muay Thai. And she really broke down a lot of the things and the importance of like, it's almost like it's more than just a martial arts. There's a ceremony that happens in the ring. It's so much that goes on to it. You know what I mean? Like, did you know what you were getting into?
So ultimately, and it was kind of reflecting back on your question, like the difference between kickboxing and Muay Thai and what it's all about.
Yeah.
When I first got into the art, and I'll just say the art because at the time I didn't really know Muay Thai was. I didn't even know what Muay Thai was.
Right.
But once I researched what I wanted to do, I realized that I want to learn Muay Thai. So no, I didn't know anything about the ceremonies. I didn't know anything about the culture or anything. As a matter of fact, when I first trained, I trained under Fuad Karanovic, who was my coach.
Yeah.
And the Bosnian warrior.
I know Fuad Beast Mode.
Beast Mode. Yeah. And he had a combination of kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
And his primary focus literally being a warrior.
Yeah.
In the ring, you smash.
Right.
So I didn't understand really the fundamentals of Muay Thai until I went to Thailand. And once I went to Thailand, every place I went, they broke it down.
Wow.
Every gym I went to, they broke it down.
Wow.
And
what's that mean?
About
Broke
breaking it down.
Yeah. What's that? Because
like, Muay Thai in Thailand is a way of life.
Wow.
It's not just classes at 7. Be there on time, stretch, get out there and start doing things. No, Muay Thai is life for many of these people. In a lot of cases, these are. And for those that don't know much about Thailand is a third world country. There's successful people. There's some very poor people.
Yeah.
Some of the best fighters, though, are the poorest. They come from rice farms. Matter of fact, the idea of getting out of that way of life, they're given this opportunity, fighting. So when it comes to America, we do football, we got soccer, we got baseball, but for the most part, it's fun stuff. You learn it as a kid. It's all cool, fun. Thailand, when they look at Muay Thai, it's less about that whole idea of just, hey, let's get the kids into something and get
into
them
a
active.
Sport, right?
Yeah, this is a way of life for them.
Wow.
When a kid says, hey, I want to do Muay Thai, it's a commitment. It's like, hey, let's sit down and talk about this. Are you really ready for this commitment?
Yeah.
So when you think about the difference between how they view martial arts and their art, Muay Thai versus somebody like kickboxing, American kickboxing, Tommy, we're going to put him in kickboxing, get him a little discipline. Muay Thai, it's like, hey, if you do this, you can't lose. You got to win.
Yeah.
And the other thing, so it's the official sport. It is a way of, like I said, it's a way of life. So when you first go into Muay Thai, if you first go into a gym, it's not coddling. It's not, let me speak to you in a manner that, as a child to help you develop life. No, it's they train their kids just like they train their adult fighters.
That makes sense. So like even just hearing you explain that makes me think of like once you commit to this, you've committed to that, it's now your job as almost like this is a part of you.
Yes.
Like you've. It's almost like, okay, you're about to pull. Once you pick this bag up, it stays on you.
Once you pick that bag up, you cannot drop it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes me think. You know what? What's crazy? I think about my first exposure to kickboxing, and shout out to Jean-Claude Van Damme. So that was my.
He was a dude.
He was the guy, man. He was a guy. He was
Them
like
splits was ridiculous.
so. As a person who grew up watching every martial arts film he could get his hands on, I was a big time fan of Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes,
and let me tell you, my first exposure to it was the movie Kickboxing.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's funny, as I went to see that movie again, I mean, you can see the goofiness of it,
Right.
but like it shows a true depiction of that. Like, so his brother, the world champ, kickboxer, goes over to fight a Muay Thai world champ over in
Wasn't that
Thailand.
Bolo at the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it what
Was that Bolo or was that
No,
blood sport?
That was Bolo.
Okay.
It was in Bloodsport. But I can't remember the guy's name. But the point where I was going was that you could tell the difference when he got over there and his brothers got his butt kicked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Serious.
Like, it was like out the gate, yeah, you the champion, come meet our champion. And he was like, it was so
He
crazy.
didn't know what was hitting him.
He didn't know. He was like, he said the funniest part. He was like, "Hey, I don't think you should take this fight." Jean-Claude was talking to him. He's like, he was kicking the block with his foot, and he was kicking like a pole, and he's talking about the dust was falling down. And it was all these signs.
Real.
You know what I'm saying? Like all these. To me, I just think about.
And the funny thing about it, that's a movie.
That's a movie.
You can go to Thailand and they straight kicking poles
Dude.
with their shins. Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
A lot of
Okay, so for new listeners, if you're not familiar with kickboxing and Muay Thai, they use some of these. They build up strength in some of these non-traditional. Like I don't even know what muscles, but it's shins, forearms. These areas would traditionally be like on the normal person weak, like but it comes like strong as stone or strong as metal.
So ultimately, when you kick with your shins over time, you get micro fractures. So every time you even if you kick a hard, heavy bag, sometimes you can get micro fractures in your shin. Whenever you break your arm or anything like that, it calcifies on the top. So it actually, that part where it broke becomes stronger than the rest of the bone.
Seriously?
So yeah. So ultimately, same thing goes on with kickboxing. So I've actually fractured my shins probably about 3 or 4 times. Fracturing, like, yeah, for real.
Wow.
But the micro fractures, over time, it builds up. And you can even see a person's shin that's been doing it for a long period. They'll have little bumps on their shin. So that's why over time, their shin gets to the point, as well as it kills some of the nerves. From kicking over time, so you don't feel the same pain as a shin.
I would see stuff in MMA, and I'm just like, yeah, that's is what is it called? A knee check? What is it when you check the kick
I just
or
call
something?
it a check.
Is this a check?
Check kicks, yeah.
So like, all right. So explain checking. What is that?
So when a person kicks, so one of the fundamental kicks in Muay Thai is a leg kick. So people don't generally view a leg kick as being something that would hurt, but ultimately, when somebody kicks you slightly above your knee on the side of your leg, in your thigh area, it hurts significantly.
Yeah.
And I tell every fighter that I've trained or worked with, like, in an actual fight, a person shouldn't be able to take more than 4 leg kicks.
Wow.
And they should be down.
Yeah.
If they're not, you're not kicking right or hard enough.
Yeah.
So, but ultimately, of course, over time, Thai kicks become, when they train, very effective. But since most people can't take too many kicks, you have to protect your leg from those kicks.
Yeah.
And how you do that is by lifting your knee up and literally making them kick your shin. So that check is shin to shin.
Right.
It's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
So if you do it correctly, it's shin to shin. It can make a clicking noise when you hear it, kind of like 2 bats coming together.
Wow, man.
But that, in most cases, where you get the fractures. So I've been fractured a few times just from people doing some significant leg kicks.
Wow, man. So that's some straight knowledge right there. Like I always hear check. I kind of got the concept because I've never done Muay Thai, but I've seen it. And
it doesn't feel good for the average person.
That's what I'm saying. It looked like it hurts.
However, you'd rather take that check than be knocked out.
That's true.
Especially with a leg kick. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a majority of my old teammates were known. Fuad was known for his leg kicks and head kicks.
Yeah.
And head kick, one good head kick, you're out. 2 to 3 leg kicks, and I mean, he would come around sometimes and just smack you on the leg, and you would feel like you couldn't walk.
Wow,
so that's
man.
how hard the kicks come.
Yeah. Like to me, even I mean, how many rounds were if someone just started and they wanted to do an amateur fight? How many rounds as an amateur do they normally?
Amateurs
have?
3 rounds.
3 rounds, and are the usually like a minute and a half, 2 minutes or something.
It's 2-minute rounds.
2-minute rounds.
If it depends, anywhere from 2 to 3.
Okay.
So today most of them are 3.
Okay.
Rounds. But,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So that's in my mind. I'm just thinking about like I just remember boxing and you're already tired. Your adrenaline's rushing, but your body can be so sore. Yeah. Like this is something you like. I would assume you at least need to build up. It's not like you could just get in like I'm going to just walk in and do this. You know what I'm saying?
And I've seen people walk in and do it, and I don't understand it.
Wow.
That's the new day of fighting today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, people just not taking the time for the training and just walking in.
Oh my gosh. All right, so get back to your story. So you decide this is the martial arts I want to go into.
Yeah. So ultimately, all right, so just to break it down, me and my ex at the time, we went to Paris. At that time in Paris, it was like 98 or something like that. They didn't have English speaking stations. The only English speaking station they had was the BBC.
Okay.
And on the BBC was K1. K1.
Oh my yes.
And so here's the thing.
I already know.
Yeah.
If you say K1,
yeah.
I already know, bro.
I had never seen like, this active kickboxing on TV, like an actual sport. You see like you hear about they got karate in the US, whatever. But no, these people were actually like, no, there's championship, there's trophy, and anyway, so there was this guy. His name was Ernesto Hoost.
I knew it was coming. I knew it.
Ernesto Hoost is my favorite fighter.
All day. He's everyone's.
Yeah.
Dude, he's amazing. Keep going.
So Ernesto Hoost, but here's the thing. I didn't know who he was. At the time, he seemed like a skinny, tall, black dude. And he was fighting this huge guy. And I believe it was LeBanner at the time. His name was LeBanner. And I'm like, this dude is going to get crushed.
Right.
I'm looking at Ernesto. I'm like, this dude is going to get crushed.
There is no way. Yes.
No way.
Yes.
He ended the fight with a leg kick to the forearm. So literally the guy had his hands up and Ernesto kicks him in the forearm. The guy crunches over and I'm like, what's going on? And then here come the refs, and everything. I'm like, I'm not even really listening to what's going on. And then they called a fight. Oh. And I'm like, what the hell? I was like, and then they were like, yeah, he broke his forearm. So this black dude kicked the guy in his guard and broke his forearm.
Yes.
That's a knockout.
Yes.
And all I kept thinking is, you can win like that? Dude, I gotta learn how to do this. I gotta learn. So,
oh my God.
Brief story on how I actually got into it. I always wanted to do it after that.
Yeah.
And I heard, it was Muay Thai. I was like, hey, I want to do this. So I did more research on it. At the time, I was a pretty big dude. I was like 235.
Okay.
And
okay.
I needed to lose weight. Found out I had high blood pressure, which is another long story.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was doing the gym for a while, but I just got bored with it. So
right.
I'm like, let me try some kickboxing or something.
Right. Help the heart, actively. Yeah.
And I learned something.
Yeah.
So I was like, I reflected back to that day. I saw that. I'm like, I wonder if there's any Muay Thai schools in St. Louis. And there wasn't.
Right.
Actually, there was. I just didn't know about it. But there was this place called Absolute Martial Arts, which was mainly kickboxing.
Yeah.
Kickboxing and karate. Mm-hmm. They make their money off of teaching kids, mainly.
That's most gyms, right?
Right. And anyway, but there was a guy there named Fuad, and he looked, like he might be all right.
He might be legit, right?
He might be okay. So Fuad was a skinny dude. He was like 5'7", maybe 160 at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember walking in and saying, I could take this dude any day. I'm 5'11 and a half, 230 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at him, I'm like, I beat this dude. Anyway, I signed up for Absolute Martial Arts, and like literally, the first time I sparred was probably 3 weeks into that.
Yeah.
And I ended up sparring this guy who was a pro fighter. I forgot his name at the time. And I was same thing. I was like, I could take this dude too.
Yeah.
And I remember we sparred, and I got off a couple good shots.
Yeah.
But there was a problem. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to be going hard. And going hard means, when the buzzer rings, you get a little amped, and you think it's a straight frat fight over in college. Right. And you're trying to knock the dude's head off.
Yes.
So I came out. I got a couple of good licks, and this dude did what's called a Superman punch.
Oh my God!
And
I know that punch.
He literally jumped up in the air, and I'm looking at him in the air, coming at me. His left hand is forward, so I'm thinking he's not going to hit me with that left hand. I thought he looked like a jab,
Yeah.
And next thing I know, I saw at the very last minute, the right hand came, hit me on my forehead, and I was going out. I didn't go out, but I was like, uh-oh.
Right.
And Fuad caught me and was all like, hey, that's it.
Oh,
and then Fuad looked at me and said, hey, if you're going to go hard, then they're going to go hard back.
Oh, man, that's facts.
I suggest you chill. And I'm like, my fault, man, my fault.
Wow.
But the funny thing that I remember from the point where he hit me in my head, I just had a smile on my face.
Right.
I'm just like, boom.
Yeah.
I'm just like, just smiling.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he, during the Fuad's like, hey, if you're going to do, I'm like, I'm looking at Fuad smiling. And I was like, all right.
Dude,
okay.
But that's an amazing memory. That's an amazing memory, man. Like, can you imagine being like, so when I first started, you telling your child, when I first started, Dad went so hard, I got Superman punch to calm me down.
And then on top of that, I want to say about 3 weeks later, I know remember a guy named Paul Urick?
Yeah, I remember Paul. Yeah.
So Paul was at Absolute too.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Well, I don't know if he actually was a member, but he used to be in there. As a matter of fact, Paul would help Fuad get ready for his fights.
Oh, okay.
That's how I met Paul. Me and Paul are real cool. By the way.
Yeah.
And I remember one day I stuck after class. Paul was helping him get ready for a fight, and they started sparring. And their sparring was frigging ridiculous.
Amazing, right?
I mean, these brothers went so hard. They were accurate. Every kick they put out was so hard. You could hear it. Pow!
Yeah.
And
how is that makes me think about, like, he had to be extremely young. He was really going hard then 20 years ago.
Oh yeah.
He was going.
Paul and Fuad were kind of like in their prime. I don't even remember how old he was. Paul's. I am, if I'm correct, I'm still like 6 years older, 6 to 8 years older than.
So
Fuad.
He was definitely going hard, man. Yeah.
So, after the end of their sparring session, they're both bleeding, and Paul's got blood down.
Wow, man.
And all I kept saying, it's like, man. And again, I'm smiling. I'm like, man, I want to get to that level.
Man, dude, that is crazy. Like the stories you didn't see, like when
it comes to St. Louis Muay Thai, there's only one, in my opinion, one other person, and I will speak about him all day, that knows more and has seen more, and his name is Ron Smith. Ron Smith is the grandfather of St. Louis Muay Thai.
Wow.
Yeah, Ron Smith's the brother that's out of U City.
Okay.
But he actually, and there's a tidbit about Ron Smith is one of the first American fighters to ever actually fight in Thailand under Thai rules.
Seriously?
Yeah. Thailand has laws, or had laws at the time, that if you were foreign, you couldn't fight Thais.
Yeah.
And but he was under the tutelage of another guy that actually was from Thailand. And he took him, the guy that he was training under, took him to Thailand. And they thought he was Cambodian.
Wow.
He had wavy hair.
Yeah.
And this is back in the 70s.
Wow,
so
man.
He's seen more. He is the grandfather of St. Louis Muay Thai. If there's anybody, to this day, you can't show me anyone that has come out of St. Louis that hasn't been touched by Ron Smith in some way.
That's cool.
Ron Smith was Fuad's coach, Jason Salufo's coach. He taught Patrick Christie. He was Quentin O'Brien's coach.
Wow, man.
Ashley Smashley.
Yeah.
Everybody. There's another guy, Skinny Joe. Everybody has been touched by Ron Smith.
That's cool, man. That's so cool. So now you started into it. At what point do you say, I want to try my first fight?
So here's the thing. My fighting and my fighting career I never did well.
But how did you know you wanted to do it?
I wanted to try it. I wanted to do it because, I'm sparring with everybody in our gym at the time. And I'm taking them. I don't have it, and I enjoy it.
Yeah, because it's like there's a point where you say, I've been training.
And I didn't realize Fuad was probably, and you also got to keep in mind, I'm old at this time. So by the time it's time to fight,
by the time it's time to really go,
I'm.
And everybody's 30s. In their 20s, you in your 30s.
I'm late 30s.
Yes,
you know, so,
yes.
I'm doing this, and again, I wasn't doing this to fight. I was doing this to learn the art.
Right.
But anyway, after a while, I just wanted to try it. And the first time I tried it, I was amped. I'm ready to kill this dude.
Right.
I'm actually at the place. We're ready to go. And was pretty much the first time I realized that my blood pressure was really out of control because they wouldn't approve me for the fight.
Wow,
so
dude.
My brother was there, and my blood pressure was like 190 over 110 for those that don't know.
But that's crazy. And you were still working out really well, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was working out every day. And that's another thing for getting ready for fights. You know, as far as in my mind, you train like you do in Thailand. You train twice a day, 2 to 3 times a day. So morning I'm running 4 to 5 miles.
Wow.
In the evening I'm doing classes. I'll probably go do some more cardio after. So
wow.
I was working out hard.
That's a nugget. This is one thing. So my show has been primarily for the opportunities for people of black people to highlight their love for martial arts. Mm-hmm. And I think that health component is a big thing. They always talk about high blood pressure in the black community. Huge. But I think that's a big nugget right there to really say, okay, know where you, even though you may be working out like crazy,
you got to know. You
know what's going on.
And let me tell you, my fight weights are in between 155, 160.
And you're a taller guy, 5'10", 5'11"?
5'11" and a half.
That's what I'm saying. So that's at 160, 5'11", you wouldn't look like you'd have high blood pressure.
At 160, I'm cut. You know, I'm very strong.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I was stroke levels. So
that's crazy.
And the funny thing is, I kept fighting this idea that I had, you know, anything.
So the mental struggle, you was battling yourself.
You're right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you know, how can I be sick? How can I be, you know?
Yeah, I'm in great shape.
I'm running 4 to 5 a day.
Right,
still,
man.
You know, even with Andre, as you know, we were running sometimes up to 6 a day.
Wow, man.
So you would never think that even under all of that, eating the correct foods,
you
know, everything that, I could have still
had it. Yeah, so
matter of fact, my favorite fighter, he ended up dying.
No, seriously?
Here we go with the missing other names. Remember I told you about this. Give me a second. It'll come. Oh, Ramon Deckers.
Well, okay, so where
the heck? See,
where was he from, though?
The most popular Muay Thai fighter, and see how I just forgot it.
But how did he die though? He had a stroke.
I believe he had a heart attack.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
He would have been, I want to say like maybe 44.
Golly, man.
Ramon Deckers, if you ever look him up, he is considered, he is one of the reasons that the rest of the world knows Muay Thai.
I'm on it. I'm going to check him out.
He's the most popular and the most devastating Muay Thai fighter. He's beat the Thais.
Right.
He's gotten one of the most prestigious awards from Thailand for Thai fighters.
Wow.
They take it that seriously. That the king gives out awards.
Yeah.
And they gave it to him. But anyway, I trained with him. As a matter of fact.
You actually got to train?
Yeah, I got to train with him. He was actually at Vaggies. He came down to Vaggies and did a whole day, man. And
Are you serious?
And we man, I needed 3 days after that.
Pause.
Yeah.
So you got the chance to meet this elite level, amazing fighter.
I've met a lot of the most elite fighters in Thai, Muay Thai.
That's amazing.
And, especially being in Thailand.
I'm gonna say rest in peace. I was just sorry. I'm so excited in the moment. Rest in peace to that fighter.
Ramon Deckers is like I said. He's considered. If you're into Muay Thai at all, you know Ramon Deckers.
No doubt. I'll know. I probably know him if I saw him, but I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
They call him the turbine from hell because he was incredibly strong, and so fast.
Wow.
But the thing about Thai and fighting in Thailand and Thai people in general are smaller people. So it takes a certain type of person to be able to go and fight Thais. Because see, if I were to go there, I would, even getting down to like 160 pounds, there's very few fighters.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, there are a lot. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot smaller.
If I found somebody at 160 pounds, I guarantee I'll be in a ring with a guy that's probably pretty chunky.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they are starting to learn a little bit about Westerns, so a lot of them are bulking up.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you do see some-
Dude, what do you think about? What do you think about? I know we mentioned already, like Ernesto Hoost. He's an amazing person. K1, he's just amazing. What do you think about my boy Israel Adesanya, man?
Oh my God, yes.
Is he not? That's my
you know
guy,
He is
man.
the new Anderson Silva to me.
He's
I love
amazing, dude.
his fighting style, and it's unorthodox, but he has some very good skill, Muay Thai skill.
Yeah.
And if you notice, man, the people in MMA that seem to be like the most, the people that everybody loves, like, they're not just the grapplers.
They're not just the
These
facts.
are the guys that can come across the ring,
Facts.
touch gloves, do a flying knee.
Yes. Facts, man.
And knock them out, and you're like, what happened?
Facts, man.
Yeah, so,
Facts.
and Anderson Silva, who is a very accomplished Muay Thai fighter, he was a Muay Thai fighter before he became MMA. You can just see his actual Muay Thai skill.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when I got into him, because I got so excited, everybody, like, you just heard the buzz. Everybody was like, the style bender.
Yeah,
So you first see him, the style bender. He's in the UFC, and it's like, he's doing all this cool animation stuff, anime stuff.
Yeah, I see that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, and you see him doing all this stuff, and then you start peeling back the layers.
Yeah.
I start peeling back, and he's like, yes, he's this elite kickboxer. He's won all types of tournaments. He's like champions of all champions. He's taking his L's, but he's coming to the UFC and just put his stamp on the freaking welterweight level. Like, he is killing it.
And I don't even know the whole idea behind his name, the style bender, but what I noticed from him, and really some of the elite fighters, stand-up fighters, is they're blending styles.
Yeah, that's it.
They're blending styles, but you still see all of the fundamentals.
Yes.
Like, for me, I see all the fundamentals of Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And when it comes to fundamentals in me, that's what I'm known for.
Yeah.
If I teach anybody, if I coach anybody, your fundamentals have to be correct.
Right.
But when I see somebody like him, and I'm like, man, he's able to go into a boxing stance and execute some Muay Thai kicks.
Yes.
And you won't even know it.
You won't even know
You
it.
wouldn't even know that there's a difference in the stance that
Right.
he has to take in order to be able to get some of these kicks off.
Dude, he said,
ridiculous.
I saw one of his interviews, and he was fighting, I don't know if he had took the title, but he was like, yeah. So what happened was, and you see the breakdown as he narrates his fight. Mm-hmm. He's talking about the combo from the stand-up boxing to, hey, I immediately went to the same combo, but I used my legs the next time with an S kick. He called it the S kick.
Question mark kick.
The question mark. I said S, my bad. The question mark
That's
kick.
American term.
And I was like, so I was just like, what? And so, like, you see the breakdown. He's like, yeah, I tricked him because he thought that I was doing the same thing. Yeah. Like in basic boxing term, it'd be like a 1, 2, 3. So, jab, straight right, and the left hook. But he came with, like, I hit him with, instead, a straight right, a left hook, and I question marked him. And I was like, oh, snaps. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same concept, right. But the person on looking at him was thinking he was going to, he's about to come with the same look. Yeah. No.
The next step or the next stage in Muay Thai or in the stand-up, you're really seeing it through people like
Israel. Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not going to take away from Anderson.
Oh my God! Let's start. Let's go
first. People.
Let's go there, man. Because Anderson, I love the Spider-Man. Everybody loves Spider-Man. Come on, let's go to Anderson real quick.
Brazilian.
And like he is an amazing. He got. Because I go back to even when he fought. What was the name? Pride. That was Pride.
Oh
days.
Yeah.
Like it was.
You start looking at some of his early fights. Man.
Oh my God! So like I was looking at. So at the time, this would have been 2008, 2007 and 8 for me, where all of a sudden a lot of these things were coming on YouTube. And I was seeing, so I'm at work.
Right.
And I was seeing like, number one, it's about 2008, I was seeing Kimbo Slice.
Oh, yeah.
And Backyard
Kimbo,
Fights.
Backyard
you know what I'm
Fights,
saying?
yeah.
And I was watching Anderson Silva and Ernesto Hoost. Yeah. And it was also Rampage. Yeah. Those were the four that was just blowing up the internet. And then so to see, because they kept saying Anderson Silva, and Anderson wasn't necessarily getting every win back then,
right?
But he was having these amazing fights,
and that's an important part, especially for me as a coach now, is letting people know, like, look, for some reason today in fighting, you feel like you have to have the win every day.
Every
you know
day,
what? No,
right?
You're going to get some losses before you ever become somebody like an Israel or an Anderson.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, these people have, when they started off, you know, they literally, you know, they paid their dues.
Right.
And they didn't come out showy.
Yeah.
They were sticking to their fundamentals. And
Yeah.
then, you know, over time they get, you know, they get comfortable with their skill.
Yep.
But you know, and I see people today, you know, even when they come in training, they want to be flashy. They want to do this. No, dude, just concentrate on your fundamentals.
That's the nugget, man. Hey, listen, dragons out there, concentrate on those fundamentals. Whatever art you're practicing, stick with those fundamentals, and you'll see it grow. You know what I'm saying? What they say, when the student's ready, the master will appear, right?
Right.
Man. Oh my gosh! All right, so let's keep going. Even on Anderson Silva, or even just telling me your story too as you progress forward, because I kind of touched on that. So you're seeing all these fighters, Ernesto Hoost, you're seeing all these things happening. Who was your inspirations, and kind of dive into that as well?
You know, okay, so
like
Ernesto Hoost was the first. Now it's funny about that too, because you know, over time people started saying I kind of look like him because I had the bald head.
Yeah, the bald. Yeah.
And then Remy was also a huge one. Badr Hari was another one for him. These are all K1 fighters. And I used to try to mimic a lot of what they do. Leg kicks and all right, so there's two styles of Muay Thai.
Okay.
One is based upon traditional, which is from the country.
Okay. Thailand. Okay.
And then there's Western boxing, Western Thai boxing.
Okay.
And there's a difference. And even if somebody ever decides they want to learn, you want to know which one is you're going to be training with. It's a little
seriously.
different.
Wow,
one is more on a kickboxing level, which is K1 style.
Okay.
And the other one is traditional. There's two different fighting styles.
Do both of them have the check where they're able to almost like judo throw a person like they catch their leg and they trip them? Do both of those have
and
those?
That's a good point, because in traditional Thai, everything, you have the art of 8 limbs, so you're able to do all of it. As a matter of fact, whether you come out and do your first fight at 12 years old, you throw elbows, you throw knees, you trip, you throw.
Yeah, I see those tripping, and that's like a big deal. They'll catch their leg and be like, whoosh, and the person will be like, bow.
And clinching, which is kind of a stand-up wrestling style. That's when you grab people around the neck in order to throw the knees.
Yeah.
Try to tie up their arms in order to try to trip them, throw them, or knee them.
Okay.
You know, so that's called clinching, which is kind of like grappling, like when you all on jiu-jitsu at first, you know, you kind of bend over and you feel each other.
Yeah.
Well, clinching is something similar. It's the point of trying to gain control of the upper body, mainly the head, to be able to execute knees, elbows.
And it seems like that lock is like lock. Like you in that clinch when you in there.
If you can get a good clinch, it's hard to get out of, especially if you don't know how. So in UFC and some of the other mixed martial arts, a lot of people don't know how to get out of it.
Wow.
In Thailand, it's a completely different style of Muay Thai that they teach specific. When I first went to Thailand, they wouldn't even teach you clinch. They wouldn't teach you how to do this. It was a Thai thing. Thais have always kept the art real close.
Wow.
So when I first went to Thailand, I trained in Fairtex. Like I said, I've been around.
Yeah.
When you first get there, you're not going to learn that stuff. They're not going to teach you that stuff.
Wow, man.
Now, over years,
they've been progressing and opening up.
So that's why you see everybody a Tiger. Now.
Yeah. Shout out to Charles Johnson over at Tiger Muay Thai. That's my guy, man. Yeah, all right, keep going.
There, anyway, so there's two different styles.
Yeah.
When I first started, I loved that Remy Bonjanski,
that's K1.
Hoost,
yeah.
And that's out of, for the most part, Netherlands.
Okay.
And that's also that's also where a lot of some of my favorite fighters were from.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I kind of went that route. I kind of liked it. I love the way they can throw those head kicks, knock the person out, and all this other stuff. As I progressed, I started to research more into the traditional Thai.
Right.
So I learned from Fuad. Fuad is Western style more. Right?
Okay.
And but then I took my first trip to Thailand, and it was a friend of mine that I met up there. He took me to a gym on an island called Koh Samui, and it was my first opportunity to see not only how they train, how they got their fighters ready, And then I had a newfound respect for traditional Thai.
I love that. I love that, man. I love
traditional, that. And then all of a sudden it's like, and at that point in my life, I'm like, I want to learn this clinch.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to trip, throws. I want to learn all of this. And they did that every day. Every day they spend 40 minutes just clinching.
How long did you stay there?
Each time I go, I was right at about 3.5 weeks, almost near the month. After a month, you have to do a special process. You can't stay there longer than a month.
Oh, gotcha.
But I always end up staying there like right at about 4 months, anywhere from 3.5 weeks to 4 months each time I go.
That's great, man.
So, so then I got this new love for traditional Thai.
Yeah.
And so then I started seeing, it just so happened that when I got into Muay Thai, the whole sport started to get more world attention.
Right.
So Thais are coming out of Thailand to fight, and Westerners are starting to go into Thailand and fight.
Right.
And so next thing you know, in Europe, you have this sport that's booming, and that's kickboxing, and ultimately, like today, which is if you go to Thailand, there's a stadium there called Max Muay Thai, and if you ever want to see what Muay Thai has become today, go to YouTube, watch Max Muay Thai, and see the fights. So for the most part, Max Muay Thai is taking Thai fighters and fighting foreigners.
Wow.
So they call it Max because you only get 3 rounds. They don't do a lot of clinching. They want you to bang. They give them awards for being active, for fighting. So
that's cool.
I went there probably about 2 years ago. Man, it was like exciting.
I believe
so
it.
Ultimately, the whole art of Muay Thai has kind of blended.
That's cool.
Bit. And it's kind of like how MMA started.
Yeah.
So then it was judo against this.
Yes.
But today it's mixed.
Dude, just to think about like what you're talking about, and I'm sure there's probably traditionalists that just doesn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming.
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that's just the natural truth of it, and they will have their reasons for not liking it.
Right.
I'm assuming, you know what I mean? But
Thai people, for the most part, are starting to open up when it comes to Muay Thai.
Yeah.
But the traditionalists don't like foreigners
Yeah.
coming in. They don't like when people teach foreigners.
It's just like the kickboxing movie, man.
Yeah. Right,
so crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I heard it's beautiful over there, man. Everyone tip.
Thailand, man.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah. Well,
and I heard it's affordable too.
Oh yeah, it is. It's starting to rise in price. So ultimately, let me put it to you like this: along with you talk about the blending of the art of Muay Thai, with different styles and whatnot. Well, Thailand in itself was going through a boom when it comes to tourists.
Right.
A lot of it started because of Muay Thai. Foreign fighters wanted to learn.
Right?
They come to Thailand, they're like, man, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
So, when I first went there, man, I fell in love with the culture. And again, like I said, when it came to Muay Thai, you start realizing, this
way of life.
Yeah, this is not just fighting. This is what they do. This is their main sport. Soccer's there, or football, American football, whatever you want to call it. Not American, excuse me, football, not American football. But soccer is a huge thing, but Muay Thai is their country sport. They have they have museums, they have official government organizations that overlook Muay Thai. It's a huge thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, when you go to Thailand, man, it's Bangkok. It's different. I like it. Let's put it like this: Bangkok back in the day when I first got there. I don't know if you remember this song "One Night in Bangkok."
Nah.
Anyway, there's a song back in the '80s called "One Night in Bangkok," talking about all the craziness of the stuff that goes on in Bangkok.
Is it like that for real?
Yeah, man, it's ridiculous. So the first time,
tell me how to say it? Is it Phuket?
Phuket. Yeah.
I just want to make sure.
I know. Everybody else be all like, for real.
Yeah.
Phuket. Yeah.
Phuket. Okay. I just want to make sure.
I've been to Phuket too.
Okay. Phuket, Bangkok. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll just make sure I'm saying it right.
So Bangkok is the main city. Back in the day, because there weren't a lot of foreigners, anybody going there, you'd be like, wow, this is ridiculous. I'm in the city of Bangkok at this place called Patpong, and a lot of people know what Patpong used to be at the time, but it was pretty much their red light district area.
Wow!
And it is popping. They selling everything. They selling all the latest movies.
Right.
Fake movies.
Yeah.
You're looking at these beautiful women and realize they're not women.
That would scare the brakes out of me.
And things have changed. To the point, but. They were learned for what they call ladyboys. But the thing about it is
that's a hangover that they have.
Yes, that's the hangover. Yeah, it's true. It's so real. So even at the time, like me and Paul, whenever we go, we would go there. The last time we ended up meeting up in Bangkok, and you know, you have to ask if you see a woman there, you got to ask.
Oh my God!
You know, especially if they're really made up and they're very beautiful,
you just wouldn't know.
You have to ask.
That's crazy.
Otherwise, you're not gonna know.
That's crazy.
Most people will tell you because they don't want to get killed.
Yeah, like dude, like.
But yeah. But anyway, so back in the day, it was very pristine. It was very it was beautiful. It was tropical. It was different. Bangkok has changed. Actually, the city of Thailand has changed a lot since they're a democracy, but they still kind of like England had a monarch.
Oh yeah. It's the third world. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like that was saying they got the whoever. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
So they got a king, or they had a king. Yeah. And anyway, this king was so respected and loved, and he died.
Wow.
So I want to say I don't want to mess up on the time, but I want to say about maybe 6-7 years ago he died.
Okay.
Anyway, since then, Thailand, in my opinion, has changed completely.
Good or bad?
It's not a good or bad. It's just
different.
It's different.
I feel that.
It's different. You would never think that people would take even the death of their king that seriously.
Yeah.
But it's that serious.
I believe it, man.
When he died, they changed laws.
Wow.
Like you couldn't go out past 10 o'clock. It was hey, we're still in mourning, and it was huge.
Yeah.
And so, but when I first went there, I went to this island called Koh Samui, which is ridiculously beautiful, man. It's just like you can't even believe it.
That's awesome, man. So now you're doing all this training. You've had your fights. You're learning this change. You're starting to know the history. You're starting to know the differences between the traditional versus the Western Muay Thai boxing. What became the next level, almost like that Upper Glow back from the movies, right? Like where you was like, okay, I need to start teaching this. Like, tell us how you got to that. So
it wasn't really just like, hey, one day I want to start teaching. Ultimately, Fuad retired, but before he did, he took me to his teacher, Ron Smith.
Yeah.
And like I said, Ron Smith's a brother. He's a black dude that runs. He's been doing it since the 70s. He was former Muay Thai fighter.
I want to say my partners know him, man.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah,
and let me tell you, he doesn't get the love that he deserves.
I feel that
because he is the reason all of these people that have come out of St. Louis that have been successful in MMA.
It's him.
It's because of Ron Smith.
I feel that.
Everyone has been touched, man. Just like I said before.
Yeah.
Everyone. Ashley.
So when Fuad took you to Ron, then what happened?
Because Ron instantly will change your whole view on fighting, on why we do this.
So he gave you that did he give you the motivation, or he just was like, you know what, I see something in you. You need to take your knowledge and help pass that on to help.
Well, what I was about to go with this is that I was with Fuad. Fuad is like, hey, we killing him.
Right.
When the bell rings, I want him to
attack. Right.
And he is that fight that still exists today in fighting.
Yeah.
Ron Smith, completely different. He is Karate Kid.
Mr. Miyagi.
He is Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
And it's not something he's trying to do. He's not trying. He is the Mr. Miyagi. So when you go to Ron's, he is incredibly peaceful.
Yeah.
One day he invited me over his house in his basement. He has his whole his whole little.
Is he bald? He's bald headed, isn't he? Short?
He is not yet. Yeah.
Is he shorter?
No, he ain't short. He about 6.
6 feet. Okay.
You got to look. One day you can come with me.
I'm a roll. I got to see him.
But bottom line is and here's the thing. People again, when I say when he is the godfather of this, I don't know if you know Jermaine Andre.
Yeah, of course I know him.
See, that's funny. You know Jermaine, but you don't know his coach.
That's crazy. Are you serious?
Ron Smith was his coach.
Get out of here. Yeah, I definitely know Jermaine. Yeah. Like Jermaine was like the first UFC.
Right, exactly.
It was so popular.
You understand? So
that's crazy.
Ron Smith was Jermaine's coach.
That's awesome.
Ron Smith was Fuad's coach.
That's
Ron Smith
awesome.
was Jason Salufo's coach.
Wow, man.
Patrick Christie, O'Brien.
Yeah.
So
Quentin is my guy too, man.
Quentin was under Fuad at the time.
Yeah.
And Fuad, of course, was under Ron Smith.
Ron Smith. That's cool.
All of it goes back. No matter who you mention in St. Louis, they've all been touched.
That's so cool, man.
Woodley.
T. Wood, yeah.
Been touched.
That's cool, man.
So, yeah. But anyway, so being with Ron literally changed my whole perspective on martial arts.
Right.
To the point where like Ron's like, I don't train fighters no more. You know, it's not about that to me.
Yeah.
And then you start understanding what it is about to him. When you go to Ron Smith's school, it's for the most part, it's weird, man. It's older people. I mean, I'm one of the younger ones.
What?
That's because these people have been with Ron since the beginning.
Yeah.
So everybody that's been there, you know, a lot of former fighters.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of people, man. I'm forgetting names right now, but you'd be surprised, you know, that they used to be under Ron.
That's cool, man.
So
that is cool.
When I tell you, you know, I wasn't fighting or anything. My brother passed in 2000. Like I said, he was murdered in 2011. I was going through this mad depression.
Oh man, so this is like dark times.
Really dark times for me.
Wow.
In fact, you know, I used to be pretty good on the financial level, and I got hit because of the housing market. I do real estate.
Yeah.
A lot of things were happening when I ended up going with Ron, and when I tell you, he was kind of like that healing force, that father figure that just is just like, hey.
I hope he hears this. That's some blessing, man. You giving him his flowers right now.
Ron Smith is the dude, man. And
I hope he hears this. That's awesome.
There's some other people that those that have been under Ron understand.
Yeah.
Fuad understands. You know, like I said, Fuad is that hard. Yeah, we're gonna kill him.
Yeah.
But he was taught by Ron Smith. So,
that's cool.
But the funny thing, despite how peaceful Ron is, you know, he's still.
Oh yeah, that's hands down. I can't think of a time where it's one of those. It's almost like most Muay Thai kickboxers. I mean, it's just, I don't want to just label them as all tough guys, but it just seems to work out like that. Most people are just tough.
And let me tell you,
you know what I'm saying?
You know
mentally and physically. We always, mental part too.
Whenever we went for fights under Fuad, we always knew the ones that were punks. There was one loud, obnoxious.
Yeah.
We knew it. You know, the funny thing about, we've all been hit hard. We've all been almost knocked out.
Right.
Knocked out.
Right.
We know that this is not that time. This is not that kind of sport. When we go in there, we're serious.
Serious, right?
It's not about trying to intimidate nobody.
Yep.
It's about, hey, I'm going to put you down.
Yep.
And over time, you know, even with me now, and my background, I used to be picked on in high school. I was a nerd, big time. And still am, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
But the thing about it is that, you know, you get to a point, especially when it comes to a certain level in martial arts, that none of this matters.
Right. Yeah.
Matter.
Yeah.
Ron kind of lets you understand that, or he helped me to understand.
That's
like,
good,
you know what?
man.
Just this life that we're in is much more important than the specific thing that we're doing right now.
Right, man.
And it kind of open your eyes.
Pick your head up, like, you know, saying your head's down. You so.
Hey, it's your cards. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what you have to endure. You're going to be fine. And so he really gave me a perspective on life that really changed my idea about fighting. But more importantly, we're about to go into this issue of coaching. Ron bestowed upon me the honor of being crew. Now, crew is kind of like black belt for.
Oh, cool. Wow.
Being a crew means you're now a teacher.
Wow.
And the funny thing about it, again, I didn't know all of this. You know, I'm kind of learning stuff as I go along. And anyway, so during my deepest and darkest time period.
And you're years in by this time.
I'm big time. Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is 2013.
Wow. 14. So yeah, you've done it so years, and all of a sudden you're going and you're going through a tough time in life now.
Really tough time. And you know, at this point, I'm not fighting. I'm not training. I'm not coaching. I'm just pretty much. I don't even know what the heck I'm supposed to be doing this morning. But you know, I need to keep in shape. So and I'm going around and anyway, he bestowed this honor of crew, and at the time, I have to admit, I didn't really understand, you know, the breadth of that. And then further along, it's funny, one of my friends and also a fellow crew, Brady Tolliver, he had to explain another day after receiving crewship or the honor of being, you know, a teacher or coach, probably about I don't even know how long, but one day after class, Ron threw a vest at me, and this vest is the cornering vest. He had a cornering vest, which you see a lot of the corners in the fight. And I didn't know. And I was like, hey, okay, all right. You know, it's a real funny looking, loud, colored vest. All right. I had that vest for probably about 2 to 3 years. One day, me and Brady were talking in my house, and we were just sitting talking, having a beer. And Brady's all like, what do you think that vest was about? I'm like, honestly, dude, I had no idea. Didn't nobody say nothing. He just threw it at me, and it was over with. You know, I took it home, ended up in a box in the attic. You know, I didn't know. Anyway, Brady told me about it, and he was all like, dude, Ron was telling you, you're the next dude. This is your honor. This is your direction now.
Oh, my God.
You should be coaching. This is your coach. You're the only one in here that has taught. You've been to Thailand. You didn't train. You didn't coach. You didn't fought. He's like, he's bestowing that upon you.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And then I'm like, okay, all right.
Wait.
and you know, and I didn't understand again, but you know what? I didn't understand this whole idea, family, this whole idea that it's not just about winning. It's not just about going in there and, you know, it's not just about, hey, how do I knock this dude out? That this is something beyond just the sport of fighting.
Right.
This is next level stuff.
Yeah, man.
So funny thing is,
that's so cool, man. I'm sorry to cut you off, but that's amazing. Yeah. That's an amazing story.
It's still to this day. I'm like, wow.
Okay, keep going.
So anyway, we're talking about coaching. Like, you know, I've cornered, I've coached. You know, I actually coached Ashley Cummins' first fight.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
Smashley
in the building. And I've coached a lot of people's first fights. I took our team to the Iowa International Muay Thai Championships.
Cool, man.
Where Quentin killed it, and so did all of our fighters. Micah Bagby killed it. This is our first time in tournaments. These people go on to be champions. Quentin went to fight in K1.
Right.
There's a guy named Skinny Joe who went on to fight in America's largest Muay Thai fighting sport, lion fights.
That's right.
So I've had those opportunities, but really, you know, when he gave me this, bestowed upon me this whole crew thing and the vest, I never used it. You know, I'm like, okay, this is, you know, but when Brady taught me about it, funny thing is Brady told me about it after.
That's when the light bulb hit.
Dog. I mean, wait a minute. He told me after a guy named Daryl Cobb asked me to coach him for a fight. He's a pro fighter, Daryl Cobb. And Daryl is still with, you know, Andre. I don't really understand all of the things that happened, but, you know, he asked me to help him get ready and asked me if I'd coach him. Yeah. And ultimately, we knew this guy he was fighting was going to be a little bit of something. But the bottom line is that, you know, and me and Brady, when we're talking, I was like, because he told me about this, he's like, I took this fighter and we made him into, we agreed on what we were going to do from the beginning. Yeah. And it showed when he actually fought. And it was like, wow, this dude did it. Yeah. And I felt real proud of it. I'm sitting here talking to Brady. I'm like, man, you know, everything we talked about, he did it. He performed. He came out there killing it.
That's good, man.
And the funny thing about it, he's like, yeah, that's why Ron gave you that vest. That's why. I'm like, the vest? What you talking about? It's like, dude, he was telling you that's you. You did it. You did exactly what he said you were going to be able to do. So,
oh my God, man.
So this idea about coaching, you know, honestly, some people be all like, hey, I want to be a coach. That wasn't my intent. You know, I never, you know, just like, hey, I want to be a coach.
And Ron saw it in you, man. It's
honestly, man, and honestly, I was like, wow. When I say I'm wowed by the moment, it really changed my entire view about fighting.
Oh man,
I feel like right now, I can train anybody to be a killer.
Right.
I really do. I believe that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, before you get there, I'm gonna show you something different about life and why we're doing this in the first place.
Right.
So when you get in that ring, you're gonna kill them.
Yeah.
But I want to talk to you now. I want to get you somewhere else.
That's
so by
awesome,
the time
man.
you get in that ring, first of all, you're gonna be calm.
Yep.
You're gonna accept whatever happens at the end of this.
Yeah.
And you're gonna fight your ass off.
Yeah. I like
that's so this is in me now.
Yeah.
About, you know, Muay Thai. And I really only had the opportunity to do it really the way I know it's meant to be done with Daryl.
Right.
So I've had a couple of people ask me, you know, hey, can you help me with this to get ready for a fight, or can you do this? But you know what? It's like, yeah, I could, but no, we got to do it this way.
Yeah.
And there's only been really at this point one person that's, I feel, completely has been worthy of that, and that's been Daryl.
That's cool, man.
Daryl is a killer. And if you look up Daryl,
I'm on it. I'm on it. So now let's go here, because this is important. You've already hit this next phase. What do you suggest? Because like I said, I have listeners out there. Somebody said, I'm thinking about getting into it. What would you tell your younger you? Number one, advice, right? And number two, where do you suggest they start? So what advice would you give yourself, younger you, and then what would you suggest a new person that wants to get into the sport to start it?
Younger me, right off the bat, and this is specific to me, my health, not only back then, but today, is the most important thing in this. You know, despite that Muay Thai is physical, and you can get some broken stuff, you can get hurt. Yeah. You can get knocked out. But what's most important, your health is important, Nolan. Get to the doctor.
That's so
and
true.
I know you don't want to take these pills. But especially for me at the time, because having uncontrolled high blood pressure could have meant me dying.
Yeah, man.
But what it ended up doing was enlarging my heart.
Wow.
Making me gas quick.
Wow.
And that was the biggest issue for me, is gassing. I could be running 6 miles a day, but once you intensify that,
your heart rate goes to elevates.
Heart rate jumps because you're trying to get oxygen to your brain.
Yeah.
And high blood pressure doesn't allow you to do that.
Wow.
So I had no idea, because, you know, I'm like running 6, 7, whatever, you know, miles a day, but still gassing. So that's what I would tell me.
Younger you, gotcha.
Yeah. For kids that want to, or anybody
anybody
trying to get into martial arts, first of all, you know what? I honestly, although you might want to look at the end, you know, you want to see yourself as holding your hand up on the wind, having the belt or whatever. You know what? Forget about it right now. You know, there are too many people that want to fight to be that next UFC.
Right.
All of these people are coming in, number one, in my opinion, for the wrong reasons.
Right.
On top of the fact, like, I remember, you know, helping Lance Benoist when he first had
his first Lance, good old Lance. Shout out to Lance. I remember this my guy.
But I remember, you know, that fire he had, you know, but you're not just talking about a fire that's when somebody just walked in the door. Yeah. It's somebody that's been doing this.
Yeah.
You know, people don't want to pay their dues today. Yeah. And when I say dues, I don't mean it like, you got to get knocked up inside the head. You have to, look, if you start off in martial arts, you want to be the person that will be a regular winner at the end. Yeah. So slow down.
Yep.
Learn your fundamentals.
Yep.
If they tell you to kick the bag with the right kick for 1 hour, you need to do it.
You need to do it. So humble yourself. Take some humble
humility.
pie.
Let me tell you another thing.
Yeah.
Even though I had some great coaching with Fuad, the first time I went to Thailand, and this is probably about 5 years into doing this, I went to the first Thai gym, and they pretty much told me all my stuff was wrong.
Wow.
You need to start over.
Wow.
So for the first 3 weeks in Thailand, they're reteaching me how to kick.
Wow.
Reteaching me how to front kick. Reteaching me how to everything that they're...
Is that the teep? Is that what they call it?
Yep. The teep is the front kick. Yep.
Wow, man.
So everything they're reteaching me. And this is the important thing when it comes to me even today, whether I've trained fighters over at Watson's. I've trained, you know, a lot of different places. Yeah. But when I do fundamentals, I'm like, look, forget about getting your workout in at this point. You know what? You know, forget about this whole idea you're going to be a fighter. And then let's work on
the
movement.
Basics.
Let's work on movement.
Yeah, man.
Let's work on your fighting stance.
I love it, man. That's a big important part, man. That some people just forget. But I think it's the fundamentals that creates the champion, right?
Dude, I see people today, especially our local fights, and how you in the ring? Yeah, you shouldn't even be in the ring. Yeah, that's you don't even have the proper stance. You don't have a jab. You don't have a cross. Yeah, So what I see today is a lot of people wanting to be the fighter, but don't want to put in what it takes to be there.
I see what you're saying. Man.
I have come from I've come from a background, Fuat and all the rest. These were serious fighters. These are people that didn't mind. I mean, at the time, it was unheard of for you to fight without at least doing this for a year.
Yeah. Like at least
year.
Built this in, right?
Right. And I've seen people, even to this day, 2 months in, they're in the ring. And that's what I think is so. My advice to young people, first of all, find you an excellent coach.
Mm-hmm.
Find you somebody that you know teaches correctly.
Yep.
And submit yourself. Humble yourself, just like you said.
I like it.
Learn your basics.
Now, where would you, like, how do people, if this is cool, how do people follow you in your story, if it's possible? Mm-hmm. Do you have something out there like an Instagram or anything like that? Or if not, it's no big deal. Okay. Just shout out your school, whatever works.
So ultimately, I kind of walk around now. I feel like, what's the guy, the Ninja
Yoda?
Turtle Master?
Oh, you talking about, that's
I forgot his name.
Splinters. Master Splinters.
I just, so I don't have a home. I'm constantly at Ron Smith's. I still fill in and teach over at Watson's Martial Arts. Mm-hmm. So if you want to find me, I'm on Facebook. Just look under my name, Nolan Ferguson.
I got you. That'll be in the show notes. I got all that.
That's what's up. And then lastly is, honestly, if you know a Muay Thai fighter, you'll see Nolan Ferguson somewhere. I am the old head, and it's funny, I even had somebody recently come to me, and he was over at Ron Smith's.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, he ended up going to St. Charles MMA.
Yeah.
And he came to me one day, he's like, dude, everybody told me about you, like, you've been doing this I'm like, yeah. What do you mean? Like, was I supposed to be having a jacket with all of my credentials on it or something? So, but yeah, really? I am around, and I tell you, I love the art of Muay Thai so much that, I don't just come and holler at me. You can come to the house or I'll come to where you at and we can talk.
Now I got to put you on the spot. So at the end of every episode, I have this challenge.
Oh.
Yes. You have to answer for me one of Roy Rob's trivia questions.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
If I know
man.
it, I may not even remember.
Let's try to do. I like to do fun stuff, man. So name for me. Ooh, I'm gonna make it real tough. Did you game at all? Were you a gamer? No, so that's perfect. I'll make it easy. We're going movies because I was gonna hit you with name for me a Muay Thai fighter or a kickboxer from a video game like Street Fighter, and I was gonna say Sagat, like you know what I'm saying? Like
I remember Street Fighter. Yeah, I remember playing it.
Yes.
I don't remember no names.
Right. Yeah. But give me 3 martial arts movies that feature kickboxing and Muay Thai.
Kickboxing and Muay Thai?
Or either or. Kickboxing
so funny,
or Muay Thai.
And quick, the thing is, The Last Dragon is one of my favorites.
That's my fave, man.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I got to meet
Tomahawk?
No, Denise Matthews.
Get out of here.
Me and right before she died, we actually used to talk a lot.
Dude, I would have loved. I dressed. Me and
my
loved
missus. Her, man. That was everybody's love, wasn't it? It was everybody's love.
Oh my God.
Vanity Boy was.
Oh my God! Yes.
So right. So that Enter the Last Dragon.
No. I need a kickboxing movie. I'm talking about
like the Van Damme type stuff?
Yes, like so kickboxer. I gave you one. You need 2 more. I gave you one. So we got kickboxer.
Yeah. So you wouldn't consider? Yeah, that's more kung fu too.
Yeah. So give me what other Van Damme movie? Because you could do like 2 of his easy.
Yeah. But see, it's the names, man.
Bloodsport. Come on.
All right, hold on. Give me.
All right, yes. Take your time. Take your time. Give me one.
It's been so many.
Give me one.
Besides Bloodsport, American Ninja. I don't. Come on, man. See, this is part.
This is the tough part. This is the truth. You gotta give me 20 years. All right, or we could do this. Give me 2 fighters from Pride. You already gave me Ernesto, so that's 1.
From Pride,
yeah,
or K1.
Or K1. I'm sorry. Give me 2 other fighters from K1.
Remy Bonjanski.
Okay.
Badr Hari. Yeah, there you go.
There you
Badr
go.
Hari, Remy Bonjanski. Look, you made it easy on me. Thank you.
I'm like, man, you gotta have something. He's like,
And Peter Arts,
I know
man. We can't
K1, partner.
forget about Peter Arts. Yeah.
Wait, hey, thank you so much again, Nolan, man, for doing your thing, having you on this. Hey, this is another Into the Last Dragon original we brought to you. It's all about kickboxing. It's all about Muay Thai, and we thank this brother for coming in. This won't be the last time. I will have this brother on again as long as he permits me to come back, man. Anytime. So, hey, I appreciate it, my man. Into the Last Dragon signing out.